Hello dear children, good afternoon everyone, and once again welcome back you all to the online classes. And as you all know that now we have started the 6th unit of your science part, that is universe, and in this unit we are going to discuss, we are already started the first chapter, that is Earth and the Moon. So already you have learned about the Earth and the Moon. So both the Earth as well as the Moon, they both are spherical in shape. So the Earth is the heavenly body and we call it as the planet, and it is the third planet from the Sun, and the Earth is the only planet where the life exists. And since it is spherical in shape, so that we can calculate the diameter of the Earth. So the diameter of the Earth is around 12,756 kilometers. So this is the diameter of the Earth. And even the Moon is also spherical in shape, and the Moon is the only natural satellite of the Earth, and this is also the heavenly body, and the Earth as well as the Moon, they both are non-luminous objects. So you all know what are non-luminous objects. So for which objects we call as non-luminous objects? Yes, the objects which does not emit their own light and heat. So for such objects we call as the non-luminous objects. And the Earth and other all planets, they are also non-luminous heavenly bodies, and at the same time the Moon or the natural satellites we call, they are also the non-luminous objects, because even though we can observe the moonlight in the sky when there is full moon, but it is not its own light. It is the only light which we call as the moonlight. It is just the reflection of the sunlight. So when the sunlight is fall on the moon, it reflects the light, and due to the different phases of the moon, we can able to see the full moon in the night sky. So that day when we can able to observe the full moon, that we can call as the full moon day, right? It means we can able to observe the complete moon. So that this is how. And also the moon is the non-luminous body, I said, and what we can see, it is just the reflection of the sunlight. And since the moon is also spherical in shape, we can also measure the diameter of the moon, and it is around 3,476 kilometers. So this is the diameter of the moon. And this diameter is roughly the 1/4 of the diameter of the Earth. So if we compare, because the moon is smaller than the Earth in size, so that when we measure the diameter of the moon, so it is roughly 1/4 as that of the diameter of the Earth. So it is smaller than the Earth, and it is about 3,476 kilometers. And if we consider the distance from the Earth and the Moon, so here we can say that the average distance of the Moon and the Sun is 3,84,400 kilometers. How much? Yes, it is 3,84,400 kilometers. This is the average distance. So see, I will draw the diagram again. Already I have explained it once, and one more time. So since if it is the Earth, so just I will write here, this is the Earth, and the moon is revolving around the Earth, and we can say this is the axis of the Earth. So that we can just say this is the elliptical axis, and the moon is revolving in the elliptical axis. Or we can say the elliptical path, we can call it as the orbit. Okay. So here if you observe the both sides, here the distance is smallest. We can say the closest distance to the Earth. So it means when the moon is revolving in an elliptical orbit, so here it comes somewhat closer to the earth. So this is what we can call as the closest distance to the earth, and this is the farthest distance to the earth. When the moon is revolving in an elliptical orbit only, this is the farthest distance to the earth. This is the closest distance, and you can just see the diagram. So here it is very less distance and it is somewhat more, so that it is the closest distance and it is the farthest distance. And on an average we say that the distance on an average, comparing both the closest distance as well as the farthest distance, we said that the average distance from the sun and the moon is about 3,84,400 kilometers. So this is the average distance. Then what is the distance when the moon is closest to the sun, closest to the earth, as well as when the moon is farthest from the earth? So what is the distance? So when we calculate that, the farthest distance is 4 lakh, and it is 4,05,500 kilometers. 4,05,500 kilometers. This is the farthest distance, and the closest distance is 3,63,300 kilometers. This is the closest distance to the earth. So on an average, comparing all these two distances, the closest as well as the farthest, so average distance we can say it is 3,84,400 kilometers. So this is what we have learned in the previous section, and also we have discussed about the moon, right? So there the life does not exist because there is the lack of atmosphere. The lack of atmosphere means there is no air, so that the living things, they cannot breathe, so it does not support the life, right? And also there is a quiet, means the silence is there on the surface of the moon, because we all know that the sound waves to travel, it needs some medium, right? So when we speak, you are listening means the sound waves are moving in the air. Since on the moon there is no air, the sound will not travel. So when the sound is not travels, then it will be silent in that area. So if we go through the moon, so this will be very silent. Yes, and we know that the Neil Armstrong, he was the first person to step on the moon, right? So this is what about the moon, earth and the moon. So we have already learned this in our previous sections, and now we can discuss about the effects of moon on the earth. So what are the effects of the moon on the earth, that we can discuss in our today's class. So this is what the very interesting topic. So if you listen all the classes with interest, you can able to understand it clearly. Otherwise you will find some difficulties in it. Okay. Effects of moon on the earth. Effects of moon on the earth. So here we can observe mainly two effects. So we can observe mainly the major two effects of the moon on the earth, and they are, one is tides and another one is eclipse. Yes. So about this eclipse, there are two eclipses are there, the lunar and solar eclipse. Already about this you have learned in your previous class, that is in the 4th standard. Again you will about this everything in detail we can discuss in this class, and it is very interesting. Just you can follow the virtual class. If you not understand it, you can just observe the class again and again, so that you will get the clear concept. So that now, shall we start the types? Yes. Types. So what are types? First of all, we have to learn what are types, then we can able to discuss the further things about this. So types are the rise and fall in the water level, the sea water, what we can say, or the oceanic water. So this is the fall and rise in the oceanic water during the eclipses. During the what we can say, the position of the moon, we can say. And these tides are occur mainly due to the effects of the gravitational forces of the sun as well as the moon, and the position of earth is also matters. So these tides are occur in those times. So when the we can say the tides, they are occur due to the gravitational forces, mainly by the gravitational force of the sun as well as the moon. So in a month twice, so we can observe the rise and fall in the water level. So there we can observe the tides. Okay. So there are two types of tides are there. One is spring tide and another one is the neap tides. Spring tides and neap tides, these are the two types of tides we can observe. And the tides, they are mainly occur due to the gravitational force of the sun as well as the moon. And in a month, we can observe that the different phases of the moon, and these different phases of the moon accompanied by the tides. And as already before what I said, the tides are occur mainly due to the gravitational force of the moon as well as the sun. So we know that during the phases of the moon. Now I will draw the phases of the moon so that you will be able to understand. So the different phases of the moon, we can say. So this is what the earth, and the moon is revolving in an elliptical orbit. So here there are 6 different phases in a half cycle. Okay. So here we can observe the different phases of the moon. Yes. So here we can observe the new moon, so that we are not able to see the moon clearly in the night sky, because if we say this is the position of the sunlight, already you have learned about this in your previous class. So suppose if we say this is the position of the sunlight, so the sun and the sun rays are falling in this direction, and when the moon is in this position and when the earth is there at the center, so the sun rays are falling on this surface, and the face which is towards the earth, this face will not get any sunlight, so that we can see the unlit part of the moon, so that it looks dark, so that on the new moon day we are not able to see the moon clearly on the new moon day, right? Because the sun rays are falling on this surface and the light is reflected in this direction, so that this part which is facing towards the earth, this part will not get any sunlight, so that we are not able to see this part. So we are not able to see the moon on the new moon day. reflected here that we can see. So we can say this as the crescent, and this is the half quarter, right? So here we can able to see only the half moon, right? Only half we can see. And again here we can see the means complete somewhat, sorry, here we can see only the little portion, okay, only some portion of the moon we can see here, and here we can see the half, and this part we can call as the first quarter, and here again we can see only little portion we are not able to see, remaining all we can see completely, and this is what we can call as the gibbous moon, okay. And here in this portion, so again the sunlight is in the same direction, so the sunlight will fall on this surface which is facing towards the earth, so that we can able to see this complete part in the night sky, completely white in the sky. So complete white light we can observe, so that we can call as the moonlight. So this when we observe, this we can observe on the full moon, and this is what we can call as the full moon, and this we can observe when the sunlight is fall on the surface which is facing towards the earth, so that we can observe the full moon. And again here if we take, so again little bit portion we are not able to see, and this is again the half quarter, and this we can call as the final quarter, okay. Again we can see the half, and this is called as the final quarter, and this is again the here we are not able to see the moon, means only the part of the moon we can see here. So this is what the crescent moon we can call, right? So these are what the phases of the moon. So now if you observe here, so this is the direction of the sunlight, and this is the new moon, and this is the full moon. And when the new moon and full moon are occurs, that you have to observe here. So tides occur due to the phases of the moon, and these are occurs mainly due to the gravitational force what I said. So now observe the new moon and full moon. So when the new moon and full moon are there, so now we can observe the new moon. So when the new moon is occurs, the sun and the moon and the earth, they are all in the straight line, right? Yes, no? Earth, moon and the sun, they all are lying in the straight line. So these gravitational force of all these are combined together now. Yes. So that when all the gravitational force are combined together, the water level rises. And during the even in the full moon also, so the moon position will be there here. Again, the moon, earth and the sun, they are in the straight line, right? So when they all are aligned in a straight line, so that the gravitational force will be more. So when the gravitational force is more, the water level will be rises. And see what happened in the first and half quarter, first quarter as well as the final quarter. So here the moon and the sun and the earth, they are in the perpendicular, or what we can say, they are in the right angles to each other. So when they are at the right angle, both the gravitational force will be cancel each other, so that the water level will be fall. Yes. So this is what happened actually. So that during the new moon and the full moon, we can see the rise in the oceanic waters. And during the first quarter and final quarter, since the gravitational force, since the moon and the sun, they both are rise and to fall. It takes 24 hours 50 minutes. It means for rising and for falling, it will take, just we can take the half of it, right? To complete whole cycle, to rise and fall, it takes 24 hours 50 minutes. Then what about to rise? Yes, if we take the half, it will be 12 hours and 25 minutes. 12 hours and 25 minutes to complete, to rise and to fall, right? So this is for the duration of the time. Okay. And now we can discuss the two types of tides in detail, right? So already in brief I said how they will occur. So again in detail we can discuss. So here the spring tides as well as the neap tides. Spring tides and neap tides. Okay. So for this I will draw a diagram. There we can take the position of the sun in this direction. So we can say it as the sun. Yes. Okay. And now we can take the position of the earth. So this is the position of the earth. Yes. And we can say this is the orbit of the moon. Yes. Okay. Yes. This is earth. This is sun. And here we can say the position of the moon. Only 4 pages I will take here, because to understand the spring tides and neap tides, only 2 are enough for us. So I will take only those 2 positions, means 4 positions. So here these are the 4 positions which are necessary to understand the spring tides and neap tides, how they occur. So see, when the sun is there in this position, so here there are 2 positions are there. So these we can say the new moon and full moon. This is full moon and that is new moon. Because already we know the sun when it is there in this position, so the light, the sunlight will be fall in this surface, and which is behind the, means it is not facing towards the earth. So the lit part of the moon we are not able to see when the moon is in this position, and when the light, the sunlight is falls on it, the reflected rays goes towards the sun only again. So the face which is there towards the earth will not get any light. So we are not able to see the moon in the sky clearly, and that we call as the new moon. And the full moon is there here, and the sunlight when it is fall, the sunlight will reaches the face which is towards the earth. So that when it reflects the light, because we know the moon is non-luminous object and it doesn't have its own light and heat, but we can see the and these we can call as the spring tides. So in your textbook you can able to observe the highest high tides and the lowest low tides. So see, the same location is given in both the cases, the same location is given. So depending on this you can observe the highest high tides. So see, the waves are strong and see the level of water, it has risen here, right? And here the lowest low tides. So see, the same location is given and just see the water level here, right? So this is what we can call the spring tides, okay? So here we can observe the spring tides on the full moon and new moon. Spring tide. Here on the full moon also we can observe the spring tide. And in the half phases, means in the first and last quarter. So see here, this is the, we can say the last quarter and the first quarter. Is in the last quarter and first quarter, what happens here during the first and this one we can say the first quarter. This is the first half moon, and this is the last quarter, right? So it is the second half, and here what happens? So you can observe the gravitational force, okay? If we observe the gravitational force of the moon as well as the sun. Now what happens here, as I explained you before itself. So this is the direction of the gravitational force of the sun, and this is the gravitational force of the moon. So here, and again the last quarter, this is the gravitational force. Here they are not aligned in a straight line, but rather than that, what happened here? They both are perpendicular to each other. The sun as well as the moon, they are perpendicular to each other. And when they are even in both the quarters, the first quarter as well as the last quarter, so the gravitational force are perpendicular. Perpendicular means they are at right angles to each other. So when they both, the sun as well as the moon, when they are at right angles to each other, the gravitational force of the sun as well as the moon, it cancels each other. So that when the gravitational force cancels, there occurs the neap tides. So here we can see the neap tides, right? In the first quarter as well as last quarter, we can observe the neap tides. So neap tides means here we can observe the lowest high tide and the highest low tides. Here we can observe the lowest high tides as well as the highest low tides. And these are called the neap tides as I shown in the diagram. And we can observe in the textbook also. And after that I will give you an attached video clip also, so that you will come to understand better. So here we can observe the lowest high tide. So same location is given in all the 4 diagrams. The same location is given so that you can understand it better. So here we can see the lowest high tide. Yes, see, lowest, in the lowest only it is the high tide, and the highest low tide, right? So even I will show you an attached video clip also, so that you will able to understand it better about this spring tide as well as the neap tides. Okay, now shall we see that? Yes, now I will show you that. Our solar system. The solar system consists of 8 planets, their moons and other heavenly bodies like moons, asteroids, comet, meteor and planetoid. The earth and the moon. See here how all the planets are revolving. And the modern space exploration, we have to say thanks for it so that we can understand everything. The earth and the moon have a major influence on the existence of life on the earth. So for all kind of life. The earth is spherical and has diameter of 12,756 kilometers. And the moon is also spherical in shape, and it is 1/4, it's nearly. The moon's diameter is 3,476 kilometers. It is approximately 1/4 of the diameter of the earth. The moon revolves around the earth in an elliptical orbit. The average distance of the moon from the earth is 3,84,400 kilometers, and the largest distance is 4,05,500 kilometers, and the shortest distance is 3,63,300 kilometers. The moon is surrounded by a vacuum and lacks in an atmosphere. It has no liquid water on its surface. The surface temperature on the moon are extreme. All these conditions on the moon possibly do not support the life. The absence of air on the lunar surface makes the moon a dry, lifeless and very quiet place. Sound cannot travel on the moon due to absence of air or any medium for the sound waves to travel. Effects of moon on the earth, they are the tides and eclipse. Tides. The various phases of the moon are accompanied by the formation of tides. There are low tides and high tides are there. The tides in the oceans occur due to the gravitational force of the sun and the moon. The full moon and the new moon causes the ocean waters to rise higher. The first and last quarter phases of the moon cause low tides. Twice a day, the ocean waters rise and falls during high and low tides respectively. Tidal cycle lasts for about 24 hours and 50 minutes. High and low tides occur every 12 hours 25 minutes. So here you can see the tides. So it can affect the fishermen and sailors also. The spring tides and neap tides. During the full moon and new moon phases, the sun and the earth and the moon align in a near straight line. Twice a month, the tidal level is higher than average. The gravitational forces of the moon and the sun combine to exert a stronger gravitational force on the oceanic waters and produce the highest high tides and the lowest low tides that are called the spring tides. So as you can see the differences here. So the locations they are given. The moon and the sun are perpendicular at right angles. Perpendicular means right angles to each other, and therefore their respective gravitational forces cancel each other. Lower tidal range than average. It is larger. The lower gravitational pull produces the lowest high tide and highest low tide. Those are called the neap tides. Now, I hope